AMALearning, you're about to. Specification point 2.9. Discuss the potential benefits and risks associated with the use of stem cells in medicine. To successfully answer any GCSE questions linked to this specification point, you will need to know the potential medical applications of stem cells and the potential benefits and risks of using stem cells. Stem cells have the potential to become any cell in the body. This is why stem cells have the potential to treat a variety of different diseases and conditions. Stem cells could treat diseases like type 1 diabetes, multiple sclerosis, spinal cord injuries, Parkinson's, and blood cancers, offering hope for conditions where cells are damaged or lost. Therapeutic cloning is when an embryo is produced with the same genes as the patient. The embryo is full of stem cells which are genetically identical to the patient. This means that if the patient needs a new kidney or a new heart, in theory, the embryonic stem cell can be used to provide the patient with a new organ. The new organ will be genetically identical to the patient, so it won't be rejected. Using stem cells to treat diseases and conditions has some advantages and disadvantages. Advantages. As already explained, organs made from the patient's own stem cells will not be rejected by the patient's body. Additionally, stem cells could be used to treat different conditions such as paralysis or diabetes. Disadvantages. There is a risk of viral infection, and some people have ethical or religious objections because to access the stem cells, an embryo must be destroyed. The embryo eventually grows into a baby. Prior to birth, it can't give consent and hence ethical and religious objection. Time to check your understanding and apply what we have learnt to this exam-style question. Let's look at the key parts of this question. When answering this question, what should we write about? The first thing we should write about is embryonic stem cells. We have learnt in the specification point 2.8 video that embryonic stem cells can differentiate or specialize to form any type of cell. The second thing we should write about is the advantages of using embryonic stem cells that have been made from skin cells. This has just been explained in this video. We know that the patient's own stem cells will not be rejected by the patient's body. This applies to this question as these stem cells come from the patient's own skin cells and therefore are also genetically identical and less likely to be rejected by the patient. We also know that some people have ethical or religious objections because to access the stem cells, an embryo must be destroyed. In this case, an embryo does not need to be destroyed as the embryonic stem cells have come from the patient's own skin cells and not from an unborn baby or embryo. Now, let's compare our learning to the mark scheme. We have learnt enough to have got the mark for the first, second, and the fourth bullet point. This means we got full marks. Our animations were designed by experienced UK-trained teachers. We have been achieving amongst the best results in the country for many years, and we decided it was time to share our success. Have you just amaled and want to amal some more? Don't forget to like, subscribe and share to keep yourself up to date with the latest uploads. AMALearning, you just did.